Sheba, leave it. Hey everyone. Butterfly Poet. Second protocol. Before transfer. And this is Lupron day 3. This shot is fairly simple. And tonight I want to address some statements that have been made, some questions that have been posed, and statements that have been made, some questions that have been posed, and some clarification about IVF. I may need to step away because I just realized I don't have my power cord, and I don't like doing that while I'm going live. So I was all prepped and comfortable, but I'm going to have to get up. Please excuse me while I do that. I'm going to address some topics, hopefully, that will, Sheba, leave it, help to clarify why certain things are offensive, insensitive, insulting, why certain questions are don't apply, or they don't really everyone's case is different. Hey, 1, 2, 3. Hey, I was looking at your YouTube videos of mansions for sale. Living my best imagination life. Oh, you were looking at a YouTube video. Wouldn't a mansion be great? Please excuse me while I go get my power cord and check to see what my security is barking about. I will be right back. Hey, you good out here? How are you barking from your bed? Really? Here I come, here I come, here I come, here I come. I'm back, I'm back, I'm back. Just gotta plug in. All right, I'm plugged in. Okay, I am also going to talk about the supplements and try to explain what I'm taking and why. Some of it I can't really explain, or I was so comfortable, or justify, because some people may know a medication or a supplement to be for something that they have taken it for, but there are many uses and many reasons for certain medications. So let me prep my shot, and if anyone has any questions while I do this, please feel free. I have written down some things that I have been asked, and I have also written down some statements that have been expressed to me. So I will try to help you help me, because I know that it's frustrating when you don't know what to say, when you've said something that was taken the wrong way, or it was taken to be hurtful or offensive, and you just quite don't know how to help people or be supportive, or you don't know what quite to say when you're trying to support someone. So most people just back up and don't say anything. So I can understand that. Um, I had someone to say to me, well, this is where I'm just going to be quiet and support from the sidelines. I've had someone say, well, I was only trying to offer XYZ, but I'll just back off. I understand that that might be the best way for some people to do. I've had a lot of people completely back away from me without just asking, well, what is it that you do need, or how can I help? It seems easier for people to just give up and walk away, turn their backs, because they just don't know, or they only know one way to support you. They only know one way to speak to you, or they don't know about the topic, so they just rather not engage. That's perfectly someone else's choice. I do not like these needles. Oh, it kind of pauses before it goes in. It doesn't glide in, and I really don't like that. Okay, it's all in. I'm just waiting for it to not seep out. Ah, I don't like this needle. I don't. Okay, so I'm going to jump right into it. Feel free to ask and jump in with your questions. So um, here we go. One of the questions that I get often is, um, why are you taking this med? I took that for XYZ. Well, for example, Lupron. Lupron is taken after someone or before someone has a hysterectomy, or after. It's used for men who have prostate cancer. It's used for a wide range of things. So I don't have everything in the back of my head because I've been on so much. And where I am in the moment, it's just trying to focus on where I am in that moment. So it's hard for me to reach back and recall a lot of conversations. But what I do remember is that she said, I need to quiet your ovaries. My RE said she wants to quiet my ovaries. So someone said, well, Lupron is to send you into menopause. Okay. Perhaps the dosage that you took was to push you closer to menopause. I'm taking a very, very small dose. So whether it's concern, whether it's excitement, or whether it's doubt, I don't question my doctor to the point where, why are you having me taking something that does this? We don't have those types of conversations. She tells me what she wants me to do and what she wants my body to do. I, in turn, follow through with that medication. I read the symptoms and the side effects when I get the information, and I'm okay with it. As long as I don't have any adverse effects or they tell me what to look for, that's fine. Like, for example, I took steroids when I had asthma. Or a misunderstood asthma diagnosis. It's not as severe as I was told, but people take prednisones for millions of different reasons. I only know what I'm told to take this for. So the med causes hot flashes. I've had a couple of those. But the Lupron is to quiet my ovaries because I'm preparing to have a transfer. Speaking of transfer, that takes me to the next question. Why can't they just transfer to embryos? Okay, if they transfer to embryos, which I no longer have, I just have one embryo, that is a possible for quadruplets, number one, or triplets. Okay. That is too much for everyone's different. Not everyone can carry quadruplets. Not everyone can hold and nurture quadruplets. This is already deemed a high-risk pregnancy. My body should be working and focusing on one embryo, and that one embryo can already split. It's already a possibility that it could split for natural reasons. There's a possibility that it can split because I am of advanced age. When you're older, your embryos and your eggs can split off. The other factor is twins run in my family. My sister has 2 sets, my uncle has a set, and a cousin has, I believe, 2 sets. So we're already working with one being a possibility of 2. So there's a point where it turns into, it goes from a possibility to a probability. That's very different. Scientifically, it's very different. So I've gone from a possibility to a probability. My body cannot handle trying to hold, nurture, fortify, feed 2 embryos where one of them can possibly split off and make triplets, or both of them can split off and become quadruplets. I could then have preeclampsia, I can get gestational diabetes and lose everyone. No babies. So me and my RE had discussed very upfront what my body can handle at my age, at my stage, and I would never want to have both put in if that was an option and risk losing them all and then have no chance to use the other one should the first one not work. Lupron is used for everything. I used it to prep for surgery. Exactly. It's apparently it's a multi-purpose med, as with a lot of them are. So hopefully that clarifies why I was told to not transfer 2 embryos and why I did not want to transfer 2 embryos. It's just too risky because I was already told that I need to prepare and to be ready to consider having to reduce the pregnancy if, in fact, it split. There were twins. One was not thriving and one could thrive. Or the 2 babies were pulling so much from me that I was in danger. I don't want that. So that is why there will only be 1 embryo transferred. The next question or statement, the next question I've gotten is, don't you still have another embryo? So Friday, I got the call that my second M baby perished, degenerated, and it did not make it. Whatever terminology feels better for you. I just refuse to say the 4-letter D word. That's too much for me. This is the equivalent of if they had transferred it and I had a miscarriage. These 2 things are the same. So a lot of people have commented or called and asked or text or just said, thinking it's encouraging to say, well, don't you still have another M baby? Okay, so M baby number 1 was, which means embryo baby. I'm sorry, everybody doesn't know this. The first M baby was fertilized and frozen on embryo day 3 because everything went well. It stacked up right. It was instantly frozen because it was at the phase where it could be frozen safely. M baby number 2 needed a couple more days, and it did not work. So yes, I still have M baby number 1. This is not a prize in the manner of which it's been asked. This is not necessarily, oh, well, you still got it, you good. Not necessarily. Let me explain why. There is so much uncertainty that comes with this entire process. Nothing is guaranteed. My odds of getting pregnant, carrying it through the first trimester is 5%. The fact that I got 2 eggs from the first egg retrieval was miraculous. This is separate from have faith, God can do it, you're meant to have this. I got that in a bag. I don't need nobody to tell me or remind me about my faith, about my spiritual belief, and about what God can do. Okay? I got that. I'm cool on that. We can put that away. Let's assume that I've prayed, researched, sacrificed, threw out a couple of burnt offerings, burnt sage, did some hell sweet baby Jesuses. Let's just assume I did all of that already. Okay, people? I'm cool there. The uncertainty is a whole nother bag. The science is a whole nother bag. Yes, God is in control of the science. Yes, God gave us professionals. But people, this is real, okay? This is about, it does come down to numbers. This woman actually told me to stop. So think about this. Had I not believed in myself, had I not had the faith in myself, had I not known what God can do, I would have stopped. So please understand, there are some things that is not necessarily detached from faith when you're looking at reality. My reality is there is a grand amount of uncertainty. Uncertainty does not mean I'm being negative. Uncertainty does not mean that I'm not keeping a positive attitude. Because imagine if I had just known to the bone that I was going to have 2 embryos frozen, I'd have been wrong. I am wrong. 1 M baby passed and perished. So this is about chances. Are my chances there? Well, I only have 1 chance now. And let me explain to you how just banking on this one puts a lot of pressure on this one. Because when I go to do the transfer, it needs to stick. It's going to be high risk according to the doctors and science, which God gave us. So don't say this is not about, whatever. It's still an uncertainty. Because if this 1 egg happens not to do what everyone is expecting that it will do, what do I do? If this is the last egg, I need to be in a reserved excitement for my own sake. I am here in this bed by myself. Ain't nobody over here. It's all me. I have not grieved in the form of crying because it's too much to be here at home alone crying by myself. It's just too much. It's too painful for me. It takes a lot out of me. So I want to just make it clear that I'm not being a bitch and wanting people to only say certain things to me. That's not what this is about. So I'm just explaining because I know that everyone doesn't know what IVF is, what it means, what it entails. A lot of people know someone who did it, who's a distant cousin, or you heard of it, or you watched it in a movie. You saw Jennifer Lopez do that movie with the guy that she met the day she got the transfer. Yeah. Some of it is just based off of what you have seen on TV. And maybe you have not witnessed anyone actually go through each and every step. This is very intense. It's a lot going on, and it's a lot. And I can't possibly explain everything because, one, they're only giving me so much at a time. So I have another medication that I'm supposed to take, and I have another injection, and I've got some patches. I don't know when they're going to tell me to put on the patches. Right now, I just know I'm still on 1 more day after today of the progesterone vaginal insert, okay? And I am on Lupron. Whenever I get my period, they'll tell me what to do next. So I only know so much at a time, which is actually a good thing. Okay, Hopeful Mommy says, hey, Kim, they put me on Lupron for endometriosis for 3 months. It's a multi-purpose med for both men and women. Absolutely. I think one at a time is good. It's a good call because it's way too high risk. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's exactly what it is. And a lot of people either don't know about the high risk or they assume that it's not deadly for either party. It can be deadly for the mother and it can be deadly for the embryos. Stephanie says, I'm 29 and my clinic will not transfer more than one embryo for the same reason as your clinic. Exactly. There are some clinics who just won't do it. There's some clinics that don't transfer on day 3. So that's something that you can ask ahead of time when you're seeking this method, because you don't want to find that out when you're in your protocol. So it's just really finding someone that you trust and that you understand and who can make things clear for you. Next question that I've been asked. I'm going to check this out. Can't you just do IVF again? Not a guarantee that it won't be hard as it was this time. I put my body through a lot, more than I knew that I was doing. I did not have any outward adverse effects, but she told me how much work, how much, not trauma, but how much overtime my reproductive organs were putting in to get those 2 eggs. It could be very possible that the next time, if I attempt to do this again, I would need to do it fairly quickly, because look how long it took me to get those. I'm 45 years old. Look how long it took. One perished, and my insurance will cover me 3 more times within this calendar year. Well, physically, I could probably get to 2 as far as the timing is concerned. That's a lot of pressure on my body. For example, say this transfer works and I get pregnant, okay? It's going to be 1.5 years before I could even think about doing IVF again. At that time, I'll be 46 plus. Could I do IVF again? Well, my eggs are slowly diminishing, degenerating, and losing their quality. Embryo baby number 2 showed that. So for those who say, well, you still have another one, there's uncertainty. It's not that simple. It really is not that simple. I will be grateful for one child. But with the uncertainty that this comes with, time and odds limit so much. It's not that easy. It's not that easy. It's not that quick. It's not that simple. It's not that cut and dry. And this has nothing to do with not having faith. I had faith with that embryo number 2. So there's only so many eggs we have. When we are born, we have over 2 million eggs. By the time you are in your 20s, you have 1 million eggs. By the time you are in your 30s to mid 30s, you got 500,000 eggs. That's it. You don't get no more. Men constantly generate sperm, boom, boom. They keep getting it. It's not like that with women. It does not work that way. Women have a 24-hour period in 1 month to get pregnant. Congratulations if you hit that bullseye. Which leads me to the next statement I've heard. Or suggestion, try the natural way. I don't have time to try the natural way. I don't have anyone to try the natural way with. It's a lot of dirty penises out there, ladies, and I'm sure we all know this. When I had a private donor and I was doing home insemination, this guy went and got his AIDS test in front of me. He gave me an STD report that was legitimate and a printout from a sperm bank, because he also was a donor at a sperm bank. And he provided me with information that gave me security that his penis and anything that came out of it was A-OK and clean. Okay? Shoot and cut. I do my business. You go on about yours. Now, I did that for 3 months. That was a lot of cash. I had to shell out to get different things done. That was time. I don't have a lot of time. There are men who were not willing to either, one, be a silent or no parent or release parental rights. There were men who were like, well, gosh, Kim, I would love to help you, but that just would be too strange for me. One guy was like, I would want to be in my kid's life. So, I said the next time I had a kid, I would want to be in the home with that kid and married. Okay. And then one guy who volunteered, he didn't get this. He didn't do anything I asked him to do. He did not eat the things I asked him to eat. And he couldn't. And I'm like, okay, well, this is for a purpose. So we need to get this purpose going. So again, that was 5 months of my time. So add that 5 plus the other 3 and the time in between, that's 8 months plus of my time that was wasted. So I tried the natural way. The odds are not great, and they were not going to be great because in March, I had a surgery called a hysteroscopy. That means they went to the uterus, they scraped the uterus, cleaned it all out because there were polyp and fibroids inside. I also have a couple of fibroids on the outside. One is smack dab in the middle, right on top of my hoo-ha, right up there at that peak of the dome. I'm about to get graphic here. The fibroid sits in such a place that if I have an orgasm, it is excruciatingly aching. When I told the when I told the gynecology specialist this, he literally was like, oh, okay, yeah, I see, it's right here. It's right there. He said, does that hurt? And I'm like, well, it's very uncomfortable. He said, stop lying, say it hurts, because I have it in my hand and it's right here in the middle. And this is why your orgasms hurt. Well, I'll be damned. So, ergo, doing it naturally ain't fun. So until that fibroid either moves out the way or dissipates or dissolves, I ain't with the natural. Several reasons why I'm not with the natural. Someone said, okay, well, all you need is one. I covered this a little bit. I'll cover why it's not necessarily so, liberating and such a coupon, but it takes just one. I don't necessarily need just one. So there's a big difference what you understand about this process and how you can comfort someone and what suggestions and positivity you can offer. But again, I understand that not everyone is IV savvy, friendly, cognizant. I get that. And that's why I wanted to talk about this. So all it takes to get pregnant is one egg. But it's not necessarily all I need, because the chances and the odds and the uncertainty are much greater and should be taken into consideration. Okay. You need to stay positive. Yes, I do need to stay positive, but it's also me being realistic. It's also me staying in contact with what's practical, what's possible, still staying positive, still staying faithful. I got a lot of balancing to do here, people. It's a lot of balancing to do. I'm on hormones already. So I'm very positive in a general natural sense, but I have a lot of factors going along with my journey. 90%, 95% of my support is you. It's online, it's Facebook groups, it's Facebook friends, and what I now are seeing are Facebook foes. Okay. That's just the real. I've had one visitor. I've had one friend come by to assist me with the shot. And I had an acquaintance. Well, she's now an acquaintance. She was a perfect stranger at first to come over and show me how to do a shot. So I have only seen 3 people in the last month that actually showed up in my face. 2 gave me a hug. Well, I hugged the other young lady. But as far as a familiar face, a familiar body, a familiar friend, someone to embrace, someone to be like, oh my God, with, anything like that, in the past month, I've only seen 2 people that I call friend. And I've only seen them once. So that weighs heavy on me. I ain't gonna lie. I volunteer for this, and yes, this is something that I want to do. But also at the same time, it's like, okay, should I suffer, a friendship? Should I sacrifice and not need or want, some physical support around me? No, hell, I'm human. Damn, give a sister a break. It's a lot to balance. That's just really what I want to make clear. I'm balancing the uncertainty, my odds, my age. I'm 45, my egg health, my egg reserve, which was 0.24. And from what I'm seeing, a 40 would make a difference. So timing, if I needed to do another round, could that happen? Is this one egg embryo that's left, if that works, that's going to be my only child. I won't have the option of having any more, Of course I would be grateful, but there is so much for me to balance that all I can do is take it day by day, hour by hour, quarter by quarter. Another feedback that I'm giving is that my videos are too long, and that the crying in the videos is too much for one to handle. I've gotten feedback that it's too heartbreaking to watch. What else was said? I thought I wrote all these down. Your videos are too long. The crying is too much. And something else. I'm just going to read something over here in the chat. Hopeful Mommy says, there's a list of things not to say to an infertile woman. She's liable to pounce on your butt. So you can Google a list. I'm not surprised. You can Google everything. Yeah. 123 says, I like the length of your video. Thank you. Thank you. The live ones tend to go a little longer, but all the other ones, if everyone notices, all my videos that are not live are 15 minutes or under. They're starting to get shorter because my shots were getting shorter or easier to do. But 15 minutes is the max that you can upload from a device. So, I'm being authentic in my videos, and I can tell. 1, because I know I am. But 2, because I can speak to someone and I didn't know that they were watching, and I was like, ooh, what did I say? Or did I say something, that could have been taken this way or that way? This is what it is. Okay? It is what the hell it is. This is my experience. I'm not putting on airs. I ain't faking. I ain't pretending nothing. I ain't got time for that. I can't tailor videos to the feedback that I've gotten. unless it's a purposeful question, an inquiring mind, or just needing to clarify what you should not say to an infertile woman. Infertile woman. So I'm just hoping that this video, in its 35 minutes, will help you help me. If you've watched and you've never said anything, I see that I have a lot of, I'm learning that I have a lot of watchers who are not commenting, or I even know that they have been watching. I have always been me. I have always been authentic. I've always been myself, no matter what that self was in that moment. And I can't start tailoring that now. I'm not going to start tailoring it now. There was a video the other day when I was going off. I labeled it explicit language. That's about all I'm going to do. Okay. I'm me. I've always been me. And I've always been the me that feels how I feel at a certain age and a certain phase in my life. I don't have time. Okay. I'm trying to focus on having a baby. I would love your support. I want your support. I want to help you help me. But what I'm not going to do is make you feel comfortable at the expense of my comfort and my peace. I ain't doing it. I ain't ever going to do it no more. If I did it back then, the Kim you knew in her 20s and in her 30s, that ain't me. If you want to roll, put on your seatbelt and let's go. Otherwise, get off the train, get off the car, suit yourself, govern yourself accordingly. Yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got. And I'm not addressing the people who said, oh, well, your video was too long and I didn't have time, or I was at work. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the people who have complained. I have gotten complaints. I have gotten complaining toned voices. Well, why your video so long? And oh, you doing all that crying, girl. I couldn't stand it. I couldn't take it. What? Damn. Okay, excuse me. It's a far cry from, girl, I couldn't take watching you be so hard. I do have on a sports bra. Sorry. Okay. Girl, I just couldn't take it. It was so heartbreaking, and I was feeling too bad, and I started crying myself. That's positive feedback. There's a difference. And it's like, I don't want to be criticized because I'm being picky about how people want to talk to me and hurt my feelings or say something offensive. So because I'm volunteering to do this, I just need to take it. Hopeful Mommy says, I watch your lives and all of your videos. I watch them through. Oh, and I absolutely love you, Kim. Oh, your personality is bomb. Oh, thank you, Tamika. Gosh, that means so much to me. I can't wait to see these ladies and these aunties. I hope to have a huge takeover baby shower in somebody's hotel conference room. And I would love to have this internet family come through. I would so love that. I'm always thinking from the best of people, assuming the best. And me and a friend were talking about that today. She's in Northern California. And we went to the same church and we're under the same teachings for a long time. And we talked about how both of us, we tend to see the best in people. And even when they've done wrong, we still think, okay, well, they didn't mean that. They were trying to do this. And today she had to tell me, she said, Kim, she said, you got bamboozled. She said, that conversation wasn't what you thought it was. I was like, you're right. Because I repeated the conversation to her, told her everything that happened and was said. And I was like, guess what? I had this good conversation and blah, 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 blah. And she said, well, Did they apologize? I was like, well, they said that. I was like, no. Did they take ownership? Well, they said that. No. She said they diverted, they justified, and they sidestepped. You didn't get an apology, you didn't get an acknowledgement, you didn't get an affirmation, and you didn't get what you asked for. Boom. That's what this journey is like. And I just have to take it as it is, allegedly, but not take it on personally. So if I'm not supposed to take it on personally, how am I supposed to take it? If I want someone's support or if I need someone's presence and I don't get that, oh, just move along. Okay, because that's so easy. It's hard to it's hard because you don't want to make people feel like, oh, well, I can only say this to her, I can only say this to her, and I can only say this to her. That puts people in an awkward position. In this case, I have to be okay with saying either you're on board or you're not. That's difficult for me because I feel like I'm reaching and grasping for whatever I can get from someone. I feel like I'm support and for help or assistance that I'm just taking whatever scraps I can get. I feel like I should be grateful for whatever anybody says to me. I feel like I'm supposed to be grateful if anybody leaves a comment or if anybody calls or if anybody texts, regardless of what they say. I feel like I'm not supposed to say anything or acknowledge anyone who says something negative, and I'm not supposed to address them. I can't do that. I can't do all those things. I can stay calm. I can relax. I can sleep. I can take naps. I don't have to swallow everything someone says to me because on one hand, it's like, girl, don't let the people talk to you that way, or don't let people do what you allow them to do. So if I stop a person and tell them that they're not allowed, then I'm spending my positive energy and I'm acknowledging and I'm feeding negativity. Well, which is it? I felt damn good yesterday snapping the hell off on Facebook. I felt damn good. You hear me? Because I bet you this. Whoever read it, whoever was the loudest dog that yelped in the crowd, they got the message. I don't have to accept people talking to me any kind of way because I'm the one that needs support. Well, you want support? This is support. You better go ahead and be happy about that one embryo you got. That's what I get. That's the type of feedback that I've been getting. And then I'm told not to address it, stay positive. But I tell you what, I felt positively great for snapping the hell off on Facebook yesterday and telling them folks what I felt about their comments. I ain't felt that good since I started all of this. And that was a month ago. So call it the hormones, call it my frustration, but I have time for people that I know and that know me to tell them, I do not like what you said to me. I need you to either fix what you say or just don't say anything at all. Now, that's when a person wants to threaten me with, well, since I can't say to you what I want to say to you, then I don't want to say nothing at all. I don't get how people threaten me with that. I really don't understand that. I've had a lot of people say that to me. And it's like, if we're calling each other friend or you've been in my life for a long time, you're basically telling me I'm not worth you picking your words. I'm not worth you watching your tone. I'm sick of that shit. I don't deserve that. I don't put that energy out. I don't deserve that. Anybody who's been in my life, I have loved and I have liked, and I've liked them genuinely. And I need your support and I want your support, but I'm not going to take your lashing. I'm not going to take your backhanded positivity. I don't want that. I don't want to be told be grateful and skip past that loss and keep focused on what you do have. That's not quite, that don't feel good. Would you tell someone who lost their mother, well, don't be worried about not having your mama, you still got a daddy? Would you tell someone who lost a sibling, well, you still got your other sibling? You do not tell a woman who's going through IVF, who's lost an embryo, to just focus on the other one that survived. You don't say that to a woman on IVF. You just don't. You don't. It's a death. It's a loss. It's a significant loss. When she only has two and she was told to stop, she fought for them two anyway and got two, and one died. You don't tell a woman on IVF no shit like that. You just don't. As who's that? Who said that? Stephanie? Who said that? Who said that there's a list? Where is that? Helpful Mommy. Tamika said there's a list of things not to say to an infertile woman. Google it. If I'm a good friend to you and I've been a great acquaintance to you, and if I've offered you anything great, if I offered you great hospitality when you came over my house, if you've eaten my cooking, if you've had my cookies, if you've had my love and abundance and laughter, I think I'm worth the Google. How can I help you help me? That's how I can help you help me. Don't say no shit to me that you think I'm supposed to just swallow and take. I just can't do that. I want the love. I want the support. I do. But I should not have to just take it all and then filter through it because people just want to say whatever the fuck they want to say. I'm sorry. Not sorry. I can't. You know, I told my aunt, and we had a clarifying conversation, and it was good to get on the phone with her and just talk everything out. And I told her why I needed her support. My mama told me I was disgusting and desperate. My own mother told me this. My mother told me this when I was 40 years old or turning 40. And I said, I may have to look into being a single mother, and I am considering alternative methods and means. And she says, what do you mean by that? And that's when I told her donor sperm or a known donor. She called me disgusting and desperate. I told my uncle, which is her younger brother, he said, that's nasty. Why you want to do that? What that mean? And my other uncle, his younger brother, was like, okay, yeah, wow, that's cool. All right, well, then just let me know. Let's let me know. He didn't want to talk about it. He just want to skip right over it. So I told my auntie, this is why I need your support. This is why I need you to say, you got this. I want it for you. Yes. And we didn't quite get, we heard each other out, but we didn't quite, we had a cool convo. I'm just going to put it like that. I don't think it's that hard. I didn't think it was going to be that hard. I didn't think that people would have such a hard time supporting something that either they already have and didn't have to go through these means. Some people are like, I'm cool with my one kid. That's it. I don't want no more. If I get pregnant again, I'm having an abortion. Wow, okay. This all while I'm trying to get pregnant. I get it. That's her thing. That's her choice. I I get that not everybody is, I get it. I get it. I get it. I just didn't think it would be that hard for some people, or I just didn't. Wow, I'm still just kind of blown away. I can't say some of the things to y'all. I can't share some of the things because it would put people in an uncomfortable position and it would really make them run away. And even though I'm not saying any names, just to repeat something that someone said to me, they're going to know who they are and then they're going to feel some type of way. And I don't need to isolate anybody else from this because I feel like I'm reaching and scraping and grabbing for support. And it's a desperate, nasty, uncomfortable feeling. It's a strange feeling. I just don't know any other way to describe it. Hopeful IVF mommy says, I'm in Rockford. I might have to come get some cookies. Absolutely. We can make an afternoon of it. Make it worth your drive. Have some cookies and some laughs and some Chicago pizza or something. That would be dope. I appreciate, again, and I always want to make sure that I say this, I appreciate you for watching and subscribing and sharing your stories and sharing your personal stories and experiences. It means a lot to me because either people who have gone through it or they haven't, they know a little bit about it or they don't know nothing about it. Some people who just know me and they want to support me and be with my dreams simply because they know me. But those who know me well or have known me for a long time or all my life or are related to me, some of them are struggling. And I don't know what to do about that. I'm the one that needs, what I need. It's hard to, I'm trying to do the best I can to explain. That's it. That's all I'm trying to say. And people don't know what to say to people when there's a death in their family. Sometimes we just get jumbled up and mixed up on words. And I get it. We don't always know the perfect thing to say. I get it. I have a favorite person that I would love, to be around. There's a couple people here in Chicago. They're right here in Chicago. And I would love to be experiencing our friendship while I'm going through this. And for one reason or another, they both don't have the time. They're not making the time. Maybe they don't want to. I guess there's always a legitimate reason for whatever. But it comes to mind when people make time for what they want to do. And within a week's time, you make time for what you want to do and what you want to get to. In 2 weeks' time, you make time to get done what you want to get done. In 3 weeks' time, in 4 weeks' time. And when I don't fall in your schedule, or if you can go a month without seeing me, or if you can go a week or two without calling or checking or returning a call or returning a text, you only leave me to wonder how legitimate our friendship is. When you leave me to those thoughts, I don't know how to look at it. Yeah. It's difficult. It's difficult to settle for what people decide they're gonna give you and let you have. That's difficult. My village will come. This baby will have what it needs. I will have what I need. I don't know who it's going to come from. I don't know. I don't know who's going to come through. I know that I am not an island, but I know I can provide and protect my child and myself. I am confident about that. But I am human. I am a single woman in Chicago. I have no family here. That feels strange to say because I actually do have a cousin here. And I stopped hearing from her. She stopped returning my phone calls and text messages over a year ago. I then asked her, hey, are we okay? Is something wrong? Did I do something? Say something. I still did not hear back from her. And the last thing I knew was that, oh my God, I'm so glad I have a cousin here. I can be your, in case of emergency person, you can be mine. It's just so great. And then we'd have lunch and we'd meet and have dinner and we'd laugh and have a good time. And the last time we saw each other, we laughed and had a good time. And she has refused to turn any phone calls or accept any invitations. So it feels strange to say I don't have family here. I actually do have a cousin here, but I don't have. I don't know. I have some people that would, you know, damn, I can't even say that confidently. I'm worried. That's what I can say confidently. I'm worried. I got Uber and I got 911. That's what I know I got. And if push came to shove, I know I have my clients. They'll just have to throw them kids in the car and come and see about me. But I'm concerned. So there are no more questions. There are no more comments. I'm going to start to wrap this up because I don't want to receive another complaint about how long my videos are. We're at 57 minutes already. I believe I have covered, I believe I've covered everything. That was some feedback that I wanted to address to help clarify some things. I believe that I will have everything I need. I believe that this child will have everything it needs. I believe that I will and can survive from random acts of kindness. I will be grateful for fill in of gaps when and where needed by acquaintances, by people, by strangers, and by friends who can. A friend of mine just moved out of Chicago, and I miss her already. I do know that she would do for me whatever she can. And I know that I can count on her for a phone call, a text message that says, I need you to call me, and she will call me. If ever I needed her to come through, she has made a way to make her way through, and it's always been genuine. But now that she's no longer in Chicago, that kind of concerns me. So my circumstances are just different. But I'd be lying if I said that doesn't make me feel a certain type of way. I'm confident that things always and will eventually work out and balance out. But when you are in a moment, when you are in a position, when you're at where you're at and you're in that moment, you're not thinking about that. You're only in this moment, and you're only worried about this moment. And you can still be a positive person and be scared shitless. And people don't get that. You can be a positive person. You can be a person who has faith. But does that mean I'm not supposed to be nervous or scared? I don't get that. People so easily say, oh, that's the spirit of fear, and fear is fake, and fear is okay. Whatever. That ain't in my DNA to act like, I ain't nervous about something. Damn. I had a person, and I said I wasn't going to say this on camera. I said I wasn't going to say it, but I'm going to say it. Someone told me that I don't need to be having a baby if I don't even have friends that come through for me. You out there by yourself and you complain about your friends, you shouldn't even be having a baby. Ain't that some tacky shit? Oh God, that's some tacky shit. I'm not supposed to have my dream because I got shitty friends. And I'm supposed to ignore it all. I'm supposed to act like no one said anything. I'm supposed to stay positive. If someone shoots you with a fucking phrase like that, ignore that. Don't let people say that. Just brush it off your shoulders. Ignore it. Act like you don't hear that. Who not hears that? Who cannot hear that? Who knows that someone's coming out the barrel with something like that? Who knew? Who knew that that person was about to say that to me? Who knew? How many of y'all can shake that off? I don't know who I've ever been to anybody that I can hear half the things I've been told. It blows my mind to this day. I see somebody said something. Hold on, I'm coming. Oh, hi, Ashley Nicole. I have 7 sisters and 6 brothers, and I can't call none of them siblings. Wow. You are so strong. Oh my gosh. Wait a minute. You have 7 sisters and 6 brothers. Wow. Ooh. 123 says, if that's the case, I wouldn't have my 3 kids now. I don't have any friends. Wow. Wow. You can't let that bother you. You can't. I don't even like hearing that anymore. You can't let that bother you. What the hell does that mean? I can't let that bother me. It records when it's said, and then you play it back. You may have to do some work to get that recording out of your head. But oh my God, I have 5 siblings. 2 of them I am in contact with regularly now. For the past almost a year, we have been in constant contact. I speak with my brothers on occasion. They're all out of state, so assistance or help or just what siblings would do for one another doesn't necessarily apply in my case. But I would think or hope that if there was some type of emergency or something that they could tend to in an urgency, I think that I could count on my sisters for that, but they have their own family. They got their own kids, and you know, people can only do so much. 123 says, you ever think that your life is full of manipulative people who feed off making you feel bad? Yes, I do. And I've gotten a little bit better at either distancing myself from them or limiting the contact or conversation. One of them came back and said, hey, I haven't been hearing from you. You don't call me anymore. What's up with that? And then I told her why, and then she apologized for it. And then she says, I want to make it up to you. I want you to know, I'm sorry and I feel bad. She says, how about we hang out? I miss you. I want to see you. Let's go out to lunch. So she picks me up. She takes me out to lunch. We do a little window shopping. She takes me back to her house. We have and share and giggle over a bottle of wine. And then she says, I don't feel like taking you home. And I had to take an Uber home. And it wasn't the first time she had done that. Now, it wasn't necessarily in my budget to take an Uber home. And Uber in her area is always some ghetto fantastic ratchet drivers. And sure enough, I had an incident with the Uber driver. I don't know why I get people doing me shady like that. This same person said, hey, what's going on with you? I says, well, I have to have a biopsy and an MRI. Oh, do you need somebody to come? Who's coming with you? I says, no one. No one's coming with you? No. At this point, I don't know who can come. There are several people who just don't know. They can't, whatever. I said, one person said that she has to do some Thanksgiving food prep and couldn't make it. I'm like, that's interesting. I'm going to get chopped and diced on, and you're going to be chopping and dicing. That's interesting. So I was like, yes, I could use someone to accompany me. I text her the information. I text her the date and the time. I text her the address. I text her directions. I text her a separate text that said, this is where you can park, blah, 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 blah. 3 days later, I had not heard from her. And then all of a sudden I get a call saying she forgot. Oh, baby, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Okay, that's interesting. So this is the same person. It's the same person. This is the left, took me to her house and didn't want to take me home. Had to take an Uber. The person who, same person who forgot to show up to the biopsy. This is the same person. She called me last week. She's like, hey, what's going on with you? I haven't heard from you in a while. What's going on? I said, oh, well, I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'm doing the other. She said, well, who's taking you? I said, someone in my crafts group volunteered, in my planner group. What? A stranger's taking you? Yes, a stranger is taking me to my egg retrieval. Oh, I don't like that. I don't know how I feel about that. A stranger? Who is she? Well, she's a craft sister. So she's creative like me. She plans like me. So we talk and chit chat. She lives in Chicago. She volunteered to take me, and that's who she is. I'll learn more about her when we're at my appointment, talking and chit chatting in the waiting room. This stranger, very sweet, very nice woman, showed up early, got me there more than on time, sat there with me the entire time. But who is the stranger? She says, well, I would take you, but I got some stuff to do. Then you can't take me. Then you shouldn't be bothered. Fast forward, I said, okay. I called her and I says, hey, so my ride, she just suddenly had a discrepancy in her schedule. So I need someone to either pick me up and drop me off or pick me up and bring me back home. I said, my original ride can do one or the other. I just need a backup. Well, forget all that. Just tell her you don't need her. I'm going to take you, stay with you, and I'm going to bring you back home. I'm like, okay, cool. Great. Why I trusted her? I don't know. I needed a ride. Maybe I was desperate. Like I just been trying to hold on and grasp to anything I can get. She called me the night before the transfer. Hey, baby. Oh, honey. I'm not going to be able to pick you up. I'm not going to be able to take you. I got to take my dog to the vet. He needs some shots. I got this for a dog. Originally, I got this for a chick. Then I got this for a dog. You can't even walk into a vet without an appointment unless your dog is dying. But that's how it goes. Whoa. Okay, you got it. You made it. That's Sheba jumping up here. Ashley Nicole says, oh, she's talking to 123. Okay. Okay. I have distanced myself from her again. I have not heard from her since she called and said, I can't take you. I got to take my dog. He needs shots. It's time for him to have some shots. I have not heard from her since then. That's cool. I'm assuming at some point I'll hear from her and she'll want an update, and I'm going to tell her exactly where she can put her wanting of an update, and I will give her a personal update, and it ain't going to have nothing to do with Chipmunk. It's tiring to have to keep distancing myself from people. It's tiring to keep acting like or not addressing how a person has hurt me. It's tiring to keep giving someone that I call friend a benefit of the doubt. It's hard to keep acting like, well, they did this for me in the past and they've done that before. So what they've done before, I can erase how they recently dropped the ball. That's hard to do too. You know, does the things that a person has done for you outweigh the balls that they drop? Does what a person has done for you, or how much they have been there for you, does that erase when they aren't there for you and you needed them? How do you balance that? How many times do you forgive, let go, erase, let it ride off? How many times do I do that? How many times do I watch a person, a friend, not take ownership of what they did and what they promised they were going to do? How many times? Do I just let them stay there and let them linger around and be like, oh, yay, you thought about me. Oh, it's my turn. Oh, okay, great. Am I just grateful for when they do decide to keep their word? Or I don't know. I don't know. That's what I've been doing for years. I'm kind of tired of it. I'm tired of being grateful for whatever somebody decides to give me. And I get judged for that. I get judged for expecting things from friends. I get judged for being let down. Why do you let people let you down? God damn. How are you handling shit? It's like, what? I'm human. Gosh. What the hell? Child. I need some water. I'm dehydrated from the drama. Jose Cat Reynoso. Just don't insult. I don't know what you mean by that. Can you expound or explain what you mean by just don't insult? Yeah, you're not the only one who has drama. Okay, I didn't say I was the only one. What does that mean? I don't know what you're referring to. They're another girl live. Yeah, that still doesn't apply. I don't know what that means. And she's getting lots of hate. Okay. I don't know who the she that you're referring to. Yes, there's plenty of people on live, so I still don't follow. Do you have a point, Jose? Well, never mind. Okay. Yeah. Never mind. Never mind all of that. 123 says maybe you attract narcissists. Yeah, and that's unfortunate. Um, I don't know if any of you have heard of daughters of narcissistic mothers. Um, daughters of narcissistic mothers is a thing. It is a psychological diagnosis. It is a considered a syndrome, and it has been um, it is now textbook. And I have been told by a medical professional, according to some experiences in my past and my relationship with my mother, that that is a syndrome that applies to me. 123 says, I attract narcissists, and that is the reason I don't have friends. That sounds like a lonely way to get by. I had to remove all of them and their negative energy from my life. Absolutely. Um, I have to do a lot of filtering. I have to do a lot of the cutting off, and I feel like I'm Edward Scissorhands sometimes. Um, I have. I know someone, and she says, "Oh, I'm quick to cut people off. I'm quick. I'm quick. I don't forgive. I don't even ask a lot of questions. I don't give a lot of chances. I cut, cut, cut." And I'm like, okay, maybe I need to adopt that strategy. And then at the same time, I'll have people say to me, well, why do you expect that from them? Or why do almost like, well, I should be grateful for what I get. And it's like, well, do I cut the people off or do I accept their trash? It's like it's conflicting, feedback. So I just stop listening to what they say and I just do what's best for me. Um, Maybe there is something about my personality because it's definitely not the energy I'm putting out there. But maybe there is something about my personality because I am known to be forgiving. I am known to always see the best in people, and people are probably sticking around in my life longer than I should allow them. So, I I'm sorry, I had to report somebody. Hold on one second. Um, I have had to figure out how to just why won't this go through? Choose one. Oh, each one? Goodness gracious. Okay, so it gets tiring. It gets really, really tiring to have to keep, and it gets lonely too. I'm not trying to be lonely for the sake of just having people around. I mean, having people around just for the sake of having people around. But it's like, everyone's not perfect, blah, 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 blah. But when people do blatant things to hurt you or they are constantly inconsiderate and walking over your feelings, yeah, that's definitely worth separating yourself from. And people can show you who they are, and yeah, we should believe them. And I guess that's why I'm sitting here by myself with no visitors and just calls and text messages. So um, yeah, I just I'm careful, and I try not to just throw people away. I don't believe in just throwing people away. And you know, we're human, and we fail sometimes. We fail our friends and whatnot. But constantly and sometimes deliberately and just outright and just like just willy nilly. That's a little bit too much. Um, so this has been a great release. This has been a great um, combo. I really appreciate your presence. I really appreciate you watching. Um, I appreciate you sticking with me through it. If my videos are 15 minutes or 60 minutes, or now an hour and 20. So I thank you and I appreciate each and every one of you for watching and subscribing. Please make sure you are subscribed. That means a lot to me. Even if you come back and you watch them later, you can turn off the notifications if you want to get a ping, ping, ping every time I post. But please make sure you subscribe because that helps me out so much. Please scroll all the way down and you can leave a comment, or right at the top, you can click the little arrow and then you'll see the subscribe. That would mean so much to me and Chipmunk. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your peace and your positive energy. Thank you for listening to me. I love y'all and I appreciate y'all. And good night.